All right, so you got 360. The first thing you need to do is figure out if you're gonna mount it to a car or a bike. If you're gonna mount it to a bike, you need one of these little plastic things, and there's two different kinds in here. There's a little round one, and that one's for flat surfaces, and then there's a square one, and that one's got a little bit of a curve to it. So you need to pick one of those wherever you're gonna mount it, and then the next thing you need is one of these, this mount, with one of these. And all the screws and everything should be inside your little box. And you get a box like this. And I'll have all those, and I'll have all these. To a bike, you need to put your little sticky mount somewhere. The tank's all right, a position, but down on the back of the tail, so it's facing the rider, like right here or something. Or if they have a rear cowl, like this is plastic, put it right there. But what you need for a bike is this right here. So basically, you snap the camera into that mount, and then it just slides in from the front, just like that. And then you make sure it's level. So this is tight right now, but basically you just make sure that the camera is level, you know, with everything. If you're gonna mount the camera inside of a car, that's even easier. All you need is this suction cup mount, and then the camera mounts into that base. That should already be connected to your suction cup mount, but if not, it's gonna be inside your bucket for car stuff. If they upgraded to the OBD2 option, that's what this is. And there will be a B and there will be a B on the camera, or an A and an A on the camera, or whatever, but these are specific to a specific camera. And if they got the OBD2 option, this is what you need. And they'll tell you where to plug this in their car. If you're mounting it inside a car, it goes right there next to the rear view mirror. This suction cup, you just push this up against the window, and then this is the little lever. You just push it back, and then it sticks. What I do with the camera is this little screw right here and this one right here, I make sure they're loose before I mount it. And the reason why is because it won't always sit perfectly. There's different windshields at different angles. So I loosen these up, then I mount the sticky, and then I push this all the way forward to the window, and then I lock this one down, and then I make sure the camera is level and the front lens is facing forward. That's very important because the exposure is out of the front lens. And the way that you can tell is, see that Garmin right there? That's the front. So just make sure that's facing forward. And then again, I lock this one down. And then that's all you gotta do. And then you just tell the driver that when they're in grid, when they're like getting ready to go out, this little switch that's on the left-hand side facing them, just flick it forward. The camera does not have to be on or anything like that. Just flick the little switch forward. And then when they pull into the pits, just turn it off. All right, so now you just took the camera out of the car or off the bike when they did their session, and you plugged in your SD card to your card reader, or you can just plug the camera straight into, take this little thing and it'll plug straight into the camera. You could do it that way too. But what you're gonna do is open up the Garmin app. It's located at the bottom of your desktop. And then your screen should look like this. See this little green dot? That's telling you that the program is acknowledging that there's a card and there's videos to be imported. So you're gonna click on this. You're gonna go to import selection. And then here's the latest videos. So this is the, let's say this is your guy just came off the session. So we're gonna click that, and then click import down at the bottom. And then we're gonna name it, whatever the guy's name is. So in this case, Jesse, and then underscore, don't put a space. I don't know why that's important, but it is. So Jesse underscore R1. And then you could put group C or whatever, or just however you want to label it, but very important, their name, and then what they're driving or riding, and then click import, and then it'll start importing. All right, so your video finished processing, and during this import, you know, time, it takes a while. It takes like 15 to 20 minutes. So don't sit there and, you know, just sitting at the kiosk waiting for this to finish uploading, go to the pits or go take some grid shots, go do something else, and then come back knowing that this is going to be done in about 20 minutes. So right here, we're going to click remove from verb. That's going to take this video off of our memory card so we clear up some space. Then we're going to click remove. And then now we're back to this screen. So we're going to click create video, and we're going to name it the same thing we did last time, Jesse _, very important, don't put a space, R1, and then I guess that doesn't matter. And then click create video. So now it's going to bring us to this screen. See right here, it'll say last import. So this will be the last video we just put in. We're going to click it and drag it to the bottom and let it go. Then it's going to be here. Now you see our video. So what I like to do is click this little plus sign right here a few times. About right there. That gives me a lot of space to mess with my video. So now what you do is you start, just see these options over here on the left hand side, just start from the top at editing. If this was in a car, if this video was just came out of a car, you're going to notice that over here it's upside down. So what you're going to do is, it's fine, just in editing right here, click rotate 180, and then you can click rotate on that. See how it's upside down now? Well, this is what if it came out of a car, this is what it would look like. So you just click rotate 180, and then it'll be normal. So, and you're fine. So don't worry about it. Then the other thing you can do is, in the beginning of the video, it's going to be probably some dead time because, you know, they might have started the video like 3-4 minutes before they even left the grid. So just watch the video until like the action starts or whatever. Click on that spot and then click trim left. And what that's going to do is cut everything off from where you clicked right here. So we're going to click trim left. And then we're going to do the same at the end. Usually it's just them pulling into their pit and then turning off the camera, so you don't have to do anything. But sometimes you just click on it and then you click trim right. And that'll cut everything off from the right. So that right there is done. The editing section is done. We rotated it 180 and we cut off the ends so there's no dead time. Now we're going to go to Gmetrics. And it's going to be on this screen right here. And Gmetrics is this overlay that you see on the screen. So what that does is, what you'll see on your computer is you're going to see a custom one, and don't mess with any of these default ones. So if they have OBD2, which is if you put it in a car and you plug that little blue thing into their car, I'll show you that at the end of this video, so don't worry about it. I know I missed it. But if they had that, then you would click the OBD2 option. So you see how it says custom, default, classic. There will be an OBD2 option. You click on that one, but you'll notice that on the OBD2 option, if you move the camera, it says Speed Ventures or Speed District or one of those. Well, these things right here, these overlays, you can click on them. These overlays right here, you can click on them and then you can just delete them. So when you click on the OBD2 one, if they got that option, remember that's $5 more, so that's an upsell right there. If they got that option and they're not a speed district or whatever that overlay is going to say, just click on the logo and then delete it, and then you're fine. If they didn't get the OBD2 option, then you'll see one of these that's named no OBD2 for a car, and then click on that one. And then that one also works for bikes too. So you'll see you can click on these things and move them around or whatever, delete them if you want to. So that's that. Now we need to set the GPS, the overlay, because this is a track overlay. So we're going to click on data right here. We're going to click on activity start time. And what that's going to do is it's going to take us to our next screen. Right here is our video, right here is the run, and you're gonna see like a bunch of squiggly lines because they're basically going in a circle. Right here I just went through a canyon, but you'll see a bunch of squiggly lines. So what you're gonna do is take this little dot down here and you're gonna tell the camera when to start. See the red dot moving on the right hand side? You're gonna tell when to start tracking the GPS. For me, I just moved in a straight line, so I'm just gonna leave it where it is. But what you're gonna do is the video is playing on the left-hand side. So you're gonna move it until you see start finish. Now let's say that start finish was right here. This is where start finish was. Then I would move the little dot, leave it right there, and then click done. And it's gonna tell the camera that I need to start the GPS where the start finish was. So then you're gonna click done. And then you'll see all those squiggly lines went away and it's just one outline of the track. So that's how you do that. Now you go to stabilization. I don't know why you click no stabilization, but for some reason that's important and you have to click no stabilization. For me right here, I'm just gonna click vibration reduction, but don't do that. When you're at work and you're doing people's videos, click no stabilization. Then I'm gonna go to transitions, and this is when the video turns on and when the video turns off. So you'll see this one's highlighted. I'm gonna click fade in, and then I'm gonna go over here, click the last one, and I'm gonna click fade out, and then you're basically done. So now I will go and look at my video right here in this right hand corner and just make sure it's the right side up. Remember, if it's a car, it will go upside down. I make sure all my gauges look right. If they had OBD2, I make sure all that information is there, and I make sure it's 360. Yes, it is. All right, then you're basically done. So now I'm gonna click export. And from here, see where it says resolution right here? This is gonna be set to 4K. We're gonna change that to 2.7K. And the reason why is it's gonna cut down on our process time. So that's very important. Make sure you change the resolution from 4K to 2.7K, and then you're gonna click export. And then it's going to, on the work computer, it'll tell you it's gonna go to the P drive. And there's a folder on the desktop that's labeled customers 360 or something like that, 360 video, and then you just click export, and then it'll start doing its thing, exporting. And this takes a long time also, so don't sit here and wait for this thing. Just go to work, and then you can minimize this and work on something else, or do something else. All right, so after your video is done exporting, it'll say done, and then it'll say show in Finder. We're gonna click show in Finder, and that's gonna take us to wherever the video got stored. So here's the video. Now you just plug in the USB and then drag this onto the USB, and that's gonna take another 5-10 minutes to process and get onto the USB. So again, don't sit there and just wait for that to get done. It's gonna take a minute. So just drag and drop onto the USB and then go work on something else. All right, so real quick, I'll just teach you about the camera. There's a power button, a OK button, and a Wi-Fi button. To power it on, once the battery and the card are in there, just hold down the power button. And you'll hear a little beep, it'll turn on. And then see how it says 3 hours and 2 minutes? That's not battery time, that's how much recording video time at 4K is on the card. So don't go by that. The battery's up there in the top right corner, and you need to pay attention to that because these batteries die really fast. So what you can do from here is you just click like the right hand button. Let's say you needed to connect the Wi-Fi to your phone. You want to connect this camera to your phone, or you want to go to Bluetooth and connect that blue OBD2 little sensor thing to the camera. You click the right hand button, and it'll go over to wireless. You can click OK. Here's Wi-Fi, there's Bluetooth, so you can mess with those things. If you want to connect it to your phone, you just click OK, and then there's the password. You just connect it to your phone from there. And then you go back by clicking that, and then you can go over to Bluetooth. If you wanted to connect the OBD2 sensor, you got to turn the Bluetooth on, so you just click that, and that's what turns the Bluetooth on. I'm going to turn it off because that drains a lot of battery. So basically that's it with the camera.